Okay. Thanks for coming back.
All
All
right.
right. So we're talking about building the base.
Right. So building that base and basically setting myself up to be able to contribute in ways that I know would actually have an impact. Because I feel like there's a lot of complaining and very little doing. So I've gotten to the point where I don't want to complain anymore. I just want to do, right? If there's a way that I think that I can help, then let me try to help. So maybe one of the ways that I could do that is by educating people or by giving people the means to otherwise get knowledge that they don't have access to, right? So, holding copyright sessions. People tell me all the time, oh, do a masterclass, do a masterclass. And I say, no, I don't want to
You
do
do
masterclass.
podcasts, though. You do podcasts,
I
don't
do
you?
a
What's that
podcast.
about? Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you do on the podcast? Is that part of the lineup? Is that part of the objective?
It's one of the things that I plan on that actually I am doing even on the podcast, right? Is naturally I like to share. Like I'm one of those kind of people that and my colleagues in the industry would tell you this. If I find out something new or a new resource or something, I'm calling everybody and I'm saying, hey guys, here's something that I've just discovered, right? Whether it's software or some new technique to do something, right? So naturally that's
Yeah.
what I like to do. I want to do it for free though. I don't want to do
Mm.
things where people pay to, because what I'm doing is essentially limiting the opportunity of those who can't afford to pay for those things. So I don't
Yeah.
want to do master classes. I want to do, like you said, a podcast is a good way because people can always go back. I have a podcast called Nigerian American. I named it Nigerian American because obviously I spent half of my life in Nigeria and the other half now I've spent
Yeah.
in the US, right? My experiences in Nigeria, I talk a lot about. My experiences in the US as well, I talk about on my podcast. But beyond that, I tell people stories about how tribesmen started. Some of the stuff that we've talked about today have been on the podcast about my experience in Unilag and how it led me to doing music and how to follow your passion. I talk about some more philosophical stuff like, confirmation bias, where I talk about biases. I have a cognitive bias series where I talk about like
Okay.
different biases. And I put it in context where it's easy to understand. Because I feel like a lot of the content that's out there, like books
Yeah.
and videos and things like that, they don't really break it down to where it's
Yeah.
easy to digest. So I create that type of content as well. Something else that I'm doing is the real estate side, which the next series I'm going to do, I'm actually going to have some episodes that's dedicated to real estate that helps people understand how to leverage real estate to build wealth. Because
Oh,
the
wow.
things I know now, if I knew 10, 15 years ago, oh my goodness, I would be in a completely different space right now, and really giving people the key rather than, the way that we traditionally do it, where is that we give you a little bit and then I want to be the king of the knowledge base.
Of the
I like to
knowledge.
share. Yeah, no, I want to share. I want people to have access to it. So yeah, so the podcast, I mean, if whoever's listening, if you're not following, it's called Nigerian American. You can find it on iTunes podcast,
Yep.
Google Podcast, or anywhere you listen to your podcast. I also talk about some of my personal stories as well. I talk about, for example, birth tourism, and the fact that people want to go have, babies abroad. Some of the challenges, why people choose to do that, how people react to it, how people in the countries that you go to have those babies feel,
Reacting.
about that,
Yeah.
how you feel coming from your country, and all those types of things. So there's a lot of interesting topics that we cover on there.
That's really very good. What other, because you're an entrepreneur, um, tell us one or two things that the young ones can do to diversify, especially in a period like this.
Um, Try to be creative.
I mean, because I know first you've gotten, not only just a degree, but you've gone ahead, to get a master's, and that is clearly helping with channeling how to make the best of the
Hmm.
situation at a point in time.
Hmm.
Um, I think sometimes with influencers like you, they need to hear that you have to have the basics
Right.
so that even when you follow your passion, your knowledge in the basics help you
It's very
to
important.
maneuver,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely. And thanks for helping me there because that's 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 kind of like the foundation of it, right? Is whatever it is that you're interested in, learn more about it. I tell people that YouTube is like the biggest library in the world. There's nothing you want to learn about that you can't learn on YouTube. Or if you don't
yeah.
have data to watch the videos, just Google it. There's a lot of content out there that can teach you how to do anything that you would like to do. Because no matter what it is that you're trying to do, someone else has done it before. So really nothing new under the sun. No matter what ideas you think you want to come up with, someone has done something like that, even if not exactly what it is that you're trying to do. So leverage that knowledge. Don't start from scratch all the time. We have a tendency to want to start from scratch. Oh, I have this idea. Because I haven't heard about it before, I think I'm the only one that has an idea. So I'm going to go make all these mistakes that people have already made and learn from, right? So leverage all the information that's out there. Find YouTube videos. For example, I learned how to frame houses a couple of weeks ago by myself.
Frame houses?
Like I can build a house from scratch.
Oh, wow.
With my hands right now. And I learned that from YouTube. I mean, I did study architecture, so I do have an idea. Some
basic, fundamentals.
But the construction style in the US is different. They build with wood here. I learned architecture with more cinder block, concrete, stucco construction, right? So this was all new to me, and I figured out I learned how to do it from just watching YouTube videos, right? If this is what you want to do, you can pick up that knowledge. It's free for the most part. As a matter of fact, when you start getting into more higher stages of learning, speaking of master's degrees these days are just badges, in my opinion, because a lot of that content is out there on the university website, in libraries, and so many other places. So you can find all of this information. So just breaking it down for simple things. My wife and I were talking the other day, and she said, oh my goodness, you know what? Because we went and bought some tools, right? And she said, you know what? This could be something to do, is we could actually go to some of these companies, purchase these tools, and get them to go to Nigeria and do training camps where you just bring in people. Hey, you want to learn about carpentry? Come. And then we just train all of you. You want to learn about electricals and masonry? Come and we'll just train you. All of this content is. But
you have to have the experts there, though. You have to have the experts,
you bring in the experts.
Come and train with them.
Okay. But then the point is, these experts have made videos. They've written blogs. There's posts everywhere. There's step-by-step with diagrams that explain everything in detail. So, she was talking about it for the benefit of people who maybe haven't had basic education and may not be able to follow, like Google and videos and stuff, to have like a physical training. But I'm saying to everyone else that you can get this information. It's out there. So take advantage, basically.
Yeah, take advantage. Thank you so much, Eldee. One of the questions I wanted to ask, I just wanted to go there, and then you mentioned it. You're a family man and a proud one as well. What motivates you? What motivates you? What gives you the value as a family man?
What's my motivation, really? I think for the most part is the joy of having happy people around you, right? You know, just having everybody be happy, right? My wife happy, the kids happy, you know. It's the thing that gives me the most pleasure, right? So I think I do things to make sure that I get that pleasure, right? So it's almost selfish in a way, because I'm doing all these things to make sure that.
No, I don't think so. I think that from the interview, you have said that one of the reasons why you shifted your base was because you wanted to be responsible for your family, and you wanted to, you wanted security for them. Okay. Right. And I have also listened at some point in time how you have been guided, because we know what the industry is like, what the space is like in the music world in itself. It's not just limited to Nigeria alone. So being a family man in that industry, takes a lot of discipline. So that's why I ask, what guides you? So it's by saying that you want people to be happy around you, doesn't sound like a trivial. It's definitely something that is deep, because if you want people around you to be happy, then it's not selfish. When people around you are happy, then what you give is what you get. So when you try and give people happiness, then you get happiness back, isn't it?
Absolutely. I like how you
Yeah, yeah,
articulated it. I like that. Yeah. But absolutely. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, is that what makes me happy is being able to hang out, play with the kids. My wife is not upset. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. There are certain things that I do. I mean, like you just said, if I were in the industry, that
yeah,
would take away from that. It's either from me not
yeah,
being around and not being available, or from me being in places that are just not the kind of places that you want your family to be,
yeah,
or that, it just creates unnecessary, challenges. My wife
yeah.
is very
But you
understanding.
did, you got married in that industry. How did you cope before you
Oh,
left? I
my
mean, I
wife
don't
was
want to
with
believe
me.
you've left the industry.
So my wife was with me before any of it. Like, we've been
Oh,
together
right.
22 years now. So she was there from the very
Oh,
beginning. So she
right.
saw everything. So she went through all of it. We went through it all together. So I don't. She's understanding, but at the same time, I want to be respectful, right? That I also don't put her in situations that I know won't be good for the family.
Pleasing to her.
Yeah. So yeah.
Are you gonna do something back to Nigeria, back in Nigeria with music? Your fans are asking.
Um,
They've missed you. They want to hear from you.
I don't know that it would be a good use of my time and resources to actually go and put out music myself, because I can use that time to do more for people, right? Which is what I'm trying to do right
Okay.
now. Is I want to I
Okay.
want to I want to actually help, because I'm okay. I'm good where I'm at. Like, I don't need anything else. It's not a money thing. It's not like an exposure thing. It's not like, I've enjoyed all of that. I know what that is like. I did
Yeah.
that for over a decade. So I don't. That's not really what motivates me anymore. Now I want to be able to sort of give back. And I know that sounds very cliche. People say give back, give back. I want to be able to do things that will help people not have to go through the struggles that I had to go through when I was
Mm,
doing this. Because when I did it, we did
mm,
it from scratch. There was absolutely nothing, no infrastructure, no
mm,
support, no finance, no
mm.
nothing. It was just like pure passion, right? And I want to help people who have that passion to not have to deal with that, because really, as humans, that should be our number one goal, is that we make
Yeah,
humanity better as we go along, right? So if there's a
absolutely.
way that I can
Absolutely.
contribute, then I want to contribute that way. Making music, I don't even know that I have the time to do that with everything that's going on. Got real estate going
Right.
on, got my IT business going on. There's no time. There's no time to be Eldee the Don on stage performing. I mean, I'll perform every now and again. I did a couple of years ago, Christmas at a hotel.
Okay.
I'll come to Lagos and do a performance. But I don't
Right.
know that I want to start like a music career again. And
Yeah. When last were you in Lagos?
early last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah, and this is the
Okay.
longest I've been
Okay.
away, by the way. Yeah, I usually am in Lagos
Okay. So you're
twice a year.
coming a lot.
Yeah,
You're coming
but
a lot.
early last year was
Fantastic.
last time I was in Lagos. Yeah, this is the longest I've been away. I actually planned on coming to Lagos, if not for the whole COVID situation. So,
Mm, mm.
um,
Okay, so what would like for you to do is let us know when you start with your social service platform,
mhm.
and let us know where you're channeling the ideas to, the objective, and the target audience that you would want to deal with. You understand?
Will do.
Eventually, um, it's one of the things that I have gotten over the few weeks that we've started this platform, to say that a lot of our performers, a lot of our celebrities are also looking for various ways, and they have developed various platforms to giving back to the society, and we're quite happy about that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Thank you
I will.
so
I
much for your
appreciate it.
time.
Thank you for having me.
it's
I really
it's
enjoyed
it's
talking to
been
you.
really, really enlightening. It's been very informative. We have gotten a lot more education. Some of the issues that we keep flogging over and over, but I think that it's in flogging the issues that we can get clarity.
Absolutely.
And we're hopeful. I'm hopeful for Lagos. I'm hopeful for Nigeria altogether.
Absolutely.
Um, Please be in touch. Continue to send messages. And I wanted to know if anybody wants to ask him any question just before we round off. Anybody that wants to ask any question, apart from the questions of when they want to hear from you again. And I think you practically, I think you've stylishly answered that question. But you can't go wrong in reaching out and helping them to develop and help and see and find and discover themselves. Absolutely. And so for that, we're really, really happy. Thank you so much, Eldee the Don.
Thank you. No, thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the platform and the opportunity to not just address your followers, but to chronicle these discussions in a way that people will continue to see, you know, from time to come. So this is really great, and I appreciate it.
Regards to everybody, and have a good time. Stay safe.
You too.
Stay healthy. Take care. Bye now. Thank you so much, guys. We meet again next week for another session. Thank you, Ducky. Thank you, Pixels. Thank you, ITUXB, Fab. God bless you all. Have a great week. Bye now.